There is no more disliked person than that person that's not being cordial. Think about this. The person who's not saying anything thinks, oh, if I don't say anything, no one knows about me. I'm not creating drama. But you do. You're putting out negative energy, and you're leaving people to interpret that however it may be. Nalo. Welcome to my humble abode. Join me this evening where we celebrate life and toast to still achieving. Bleeding blue and gold, the sack is in your boy. Breathing for the ones that went out like George Floyd. Living for tomorrow even though it's never promised. Jersey boy repping the players like Tim Thomas. World in my pocket, 2 wands up on the mirror. Got the heat, this the final shoot like Tyler Hero. Pop said I'm a god, I don't never need a hero. What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be talking about more ways to avoid unnecessary or negative karma. We'll think of a better title soon, but let's get into it. All right, y'all. So this is really cool, man. We're stacking up enough of these where if you are a consistent viewer here, I think you should get an understanding of how I go about the world, things that come to me, and more importantly, how I relay my messages. So I get all types of downloads, insights daily. That's one of the beauties of living within the spirit, as well as forging a connection, with yourself and all of that. It's a constant flow of communication. Now, me gaining a download or having an understanding about something is a lot different than how I will teach it to you here or express it here. And a lot of that's because I'm giving thought to what I'm saying instead of coming here and ranting. I care about how the message is received, so I always look for a clarifying thing, like an example, okay? And I'm going to show you an example of this understanding that I got. So the person posts, am I the only person who literally doesn't speak to anyone at their apartment? I don't want to say hi. I don't want to make small talk. I don't want to say bye. I just want to be left alone. At my previous apartment, I tried being nice. They started asking favors I did not want to do. I know many will say, well, you'll never know when you're going to need your neighbor, so be nice. I truly have never needed them for anything, and I won't in the future. If someone from my complex is outside, I act like they are invisible. See them walking down the street, still not speaking. This has kept me out of drama, kept them out of my business because they have tried to ask me questions about my life, but I lied about everything and overall have kept me happy. I love my apartment, I love my unit, and I just don't want to talk to anyone here. All right, so I consider everybody here on this channel and those who interact with me soul family. But if you are that person in that post, I'm not claiming you. And you're not living a spiritual life. So getting further into this, there's being private, there's being low key, and keep in mind, y'all, none of y'all will ever be more private or low key than me because I'm a 12th house stellium, but I'm also a 10th houser. So I literally understand the need for privacy as well as the importance for social engagement. Okay? What I want to get here and be very, very direct with you before this was used to kind of like clarify this so I can tell y'all. But anybody who's ever studied close with me knows that I tell you with being an astrologer, there's always themes. Since the first week I started doing readings, there's always themes. So that means if there are 4 of you getting readings from me in the same week, there's a common theme that's going to be there. And I could read this in a multitude of different ways. At the time in which I got this download, which came before I came across that post, I got the understanding like, these are people who are having difficulty within the home. But at the same time, it shows that you may be difficult. Or rather, what I'm saying is there's always a why. What we're talking about here, y'all, is a direct example of be conscious of the energy in which you're putting out. And we all enjoy our privacy, but that is not how you should be interacting or treating people in which you're sharing an apartment complex with. And for the simple fact that your ability to just say hi and feel good when you see others who live where you live is the ability to tap into Cancer. The important message that I want to convey to you guys here, and like I said, I'm happy I kind of have the ability to do so, is that if you're dating someone that is like that, you have to pay attention to that. Would Gemini Brown date someone who isn't cordial or nice? Because it's not about, if I acknowledge that I'm a public persona, then there's no real need for me to want to date someone who's also a public persona, right? It kind of is what it is. But you need to have a good spirit, because if your spirit is good, that means while I'm around you, my spirit is good. And we're not attracting negative scenarios. I'm going to further give you another example. And all of this makes sense. I just want y'all to know that if you operate like that, the world changed you for the worse. And you need to get part of yourself back. We all acknowledge that those of us who were privileged to grow up in a time where neighborhoods were a little bit more connected, you know that if you were somewhere and you seen someone from your town, you just felt a little bit more secure. Or if you're a kid and you see someone that knows your parents, it's going to prevent you from doing some shit, because you know that, like, okay, that person might let my parents know XYZ. All of this is what we say makes the world go round. But in a real life example, I have lived with a person, an apartment building that doesn't talk. And I'm going to let you know, there is no more disliked person than that person that's not being cordial. Think about this. The person who's not saying anything thinks, oh, if I don't say anything, no one knows about me. I'm not creating drama. But you do. You're putting out negative energy, and you're leaving people to interpret that however it may be. But in this example, this person was a parent. And by virtue of them being that type of person, naturally, kids are going to adopt the behavior of their parent. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm a teacher and kids could kind of sense that, but that child always spoke to people, particularly myself, even when the parent did not. Now, time goes by. It just so, like I said, a person like myself, or you want to be nice to good people, because good people, they observe it and they're able to see things. I'm out in the world and I see the said kid that lives in my building with their parent who is giving out this negative energy. And I seen the kid in an altercation. I seen the kid in an altercation. And this is probably because it's me. I'm a teacher. The kid saved himself by being nice and stuff too. And I just simply stopped and asked him, are you all right? Is everything good here? And he said, okay. But from what I could discern, it wasn't, right? Now, if the parent is in a better state vibrationally, or putting out better energy, you get told what's going on with your child, versus hoping that they tell you, but knowing the kid, they're probably not. But the sadness is that I walk past the person, and because they don't talk, I could say nothing to them about what I saw. I could, but you respect people's space and energy, right? By the energy that they're giving out. And I will further go back on a relationship sense. I'm going to say this to the fellas. Gemini Brown knows things and sees things. fellas, a woman like that, she can be considered private, but from my experience and what I know, that's the type of woman that is hiding something more than, and I'm going to use the OnlyFans type of thing. Okay. People who are ultra private, I'm trying to say this in the best way, like, or in this manner in which this person is sharing, they have something to hide. This is Psych 101. And in my experience as a man, these are some of the most sexual women. Think about this. The woman who's like this is that won't talk to anyone in her building is way more likely to have a one-night stand with a random person than a said person who's just going about their day feeling safe and all of that. This is Psych 101. So I'm letting y'all know that as we go on with Pluto in Aquarius, because it's a fixed transit, we're gonna see a lot of negative spirits come alive in people, and it's gonna force a certain separation with some of us. Now, there's another aspect regarding Libra and the whole zodiac that I want you to understand. If you want to live a balanced and harmonious existence, you have to embrace others. Now, let's get clear. You don't need to overextend yourself. You don't need to talk to everybody. You don't need to do anything you don't really want to, but there is a certain cordialness that benefits all human beings, and it helps us interact with one another and keep the peace. It's essential to embrace others in life in general. If we start bringing this down, we look at the houses, right? We know that like the fourth house is our family. We know the seventh house is like others or potential relationships, romantic, platonic, whatever. 10th house is work, along with the sixth, your workplace and all of that. Well, I'm getting at, in a lot of these houses, people are there. And here's the deeper part of astrology. The zodiac is present in any and every part of life. And all parts of the zodiac are needed within every area of life. The perfect example of what I'm talking about here is like Gemini energy. Gemini energy deals with communication, our ability to communicate thoughts, feelings, insights, all of that. Let's just imagine if you decided in a particular area of life, I'm not using Gemini. I don't want to talk to anybody. Now, let's think about this in the 8th house sense. If a person says, I don't want to communicate anything deep or whatever. When it comes to sex, I'll just let the person figure it out. I have no desire in communicating how I feel. There's something fundamentally wrong in that area. And cutting to the point, when you fail to consciously use the energies in particular houses, you are inviting potential negative situations into your life. And the reason for that is because you need to learn.